Hello class and welcome to Citizenship 2 class with your teacher Jodie. Today is Thursday, March 26th, and today we will review Chapter 5. Review Chapter 5, and then we will take Chapter 5 quiz. Then we will review N400 application, Part 11, N400 application, Part 11, information about your children, okay? And then we will work on activities, worksheets, to show you how to fill out the N400 application, Part 11, about your children. And then we will practice civics flashcards, okay? So welcome, everyone. Welcome to class. Okay, let's get started. Let's begin. Okay, here we have Chapter 5. Remember, last time we reviewed Chapter 5, Civil War. Okay, let's see. What does it mean? Remember, class, Chapter 5, page 71. Chapter 5, page 71. Okay, let's look. Chapter 5 in your citizenship book, the Civil War. The new United States grew quickly. Okay, after the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, the 13 original colonies became 13 states, the first 13 states of the United States. Then the new United States grew quickly. Okay, the U.S. got new lands from other countries. For example, the United States bought the Louisiana Territory from France in 1803. The U.S. bought the Louisiana Territory from France in 1803. What does grow mean? Grow. Got bigger. Yes, got bigger. What else grows? The United States grew big. Okay. What else grows? Plants, people, children, animals, right? Okay. And what is France? What is France? France is a country in Europe. Okay. Remember, class, France is a country in Europe. People from France are called French. People from the United States are called American. And the United States is in North America. Okay? Question: what territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. Louisiana. How do you spell Louisiana? Louisiana. 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 Okay? Page 72. Page 72. Look at the picture. Look at the picture. What do you see? For many years, slaves worked on American farms and in homes. Remember, worked on American farms. What did they do? What did the slaves do on American farms? They picked fruit, vegetables, and cotton. In the picture, you can see they are picking cotton. What is cotton? Cotton is a material that you use to make clothes. Okay? Cotton is a plant that you use to make clothes and other things. Okay? They also worked in homes, cooking, cleaning. Okay? So for many years, slaves worked on American farms and in homes. In the 1860s, Americans in the North said, people should not be slaves. People should not be slaves. They wanted to end slavery in the United States. They wanted to end slavery in the United States. Who wanted to end slavery in the United States? The North. Who wanted to keep slavery? Who wanted slavery to continue? The South. What does slavery mean? Slavery. It means owning slaves. Okay, and what are slaves? People who are not free. Okay, people who are not free. So, the North wanted to end slavery, but Americans in the South did not want to free their slaves. They wanted their slaves to continue to work in American farms and in homes, houses. Okay? The problem of slavery led to the Civil War. So remember, a civil war is a war inside of a country. Okay? A war is a fight between people. Okay? We have wars in the past between countries. Okay? We have wars between two countries, and we have civil wars, which are wars between the people inside of one country. Okay? So there is a difference between civil war and war. Okay? War is a fight between two or more countries. Civil war is a fight between people inside of one country. What does free mean? Free. Okay? Let go of. Okay? So the North wanted the slaves to be free. They wanted the South to free the slaves, let go of the slaves. Okay? What does lead mean? Lead. L-E-D. Lead means was a reason for. Led to. Led to. Was a reason for. Okay? So, the problem of slavery led to the Civil War, was a reason for the Civil War. Can you name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s? Can you name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s? The Civil War. Can you name one problem that led to the Civil War? Can you name one problem that was the reason for the Civil War? Yes, slavery. Slavery. Okay. Page 74. Page 74 in your book. States in the South tried to leave the United States. Okay, states in the South tried to leave the United States. They wanted to become a new country. The Civil War was a terrible fight between the North and the South. What does terrible mean? What does terrible mean? Very bad. Okay, very bad. Let's talk about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was our president in the United States. He was the 16th president of the United States. 16th. He was president during the Civil War. During the Civil War. He wanted to keep the North and South together. He wanted to keep the United States together. United means together. So United States means states that are together. Abraham Lincoln wanted to keep the United States together. What does during mean? During. At the time of. Okay? At the time of. So Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War, at the time of the Civil War. Okay? Let's look at an example. What do you do during class? What do you do during class? Study. Study English and civics information, right? To pass the citizenship interview and test. To become a U.S. citizen. Abraham Lincoln, signed a paper called the Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation. Can you say Emancipation Proclamation? Emancipation Proclamation. How do you spell emancipation? E-M-A-N-C-I-P-A-T-I-O-N. Emancipation. How do you spell proclamation? Proclamation. P-R-O-C-L-A-M-A-T-I-O-N. Proclamation. The paper said the slaves are free. Okay, so the North wanted the slaves to be free. The South wanted to continue slavery. Abraham Lincoln signed a paper called the Emancipation Proclamation. This paper said the slaves are free. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. What does signed mean? Signed. Put his name on. So Abraham Lincoln signed the paper. He put his name on the paper. When you fill out an application, when you fill out the N400 application, you will sign your name. You will put your name on the application. Okay? What does freed mean? Freed. Made them free. Yes, made them free. What does emancipation mean? What does emancipation mean? Freedom. Freedom. And what does proclamation mean? Proclamation. Paper for everyone to read. Okay? Paper for everyone to read. Okay, so the North won the war in 1865. The North won the war in 1865. The United States stayed together. The United States stayed together. But an angry man. And what does angry mean? Angry. Angry means mad, okay? Upset, mad. An angry man killed Lincoln at the end of the war. Americans remember Lincoln because he helped the U.S. at a hard time. Hard, difficult, not easy. Americans remember Lincoln because he helped the United States at a hard time. Okay? During the Civil War. Who was Susan B. Anthony? Susan B. Anthony. She was a woman. She was a woman who worked to end slavery. She also worked for women's rights. She worked for women's rights. She is a famous American. What does famous mean? Important. Good. In the picture on page 79, you can see, okay, in the picture on page 79, you can see Susan B. Anthony working for women's rights. You see women in the picture, women, holding the United States flag and asking for women's rights. Now remember, we also looked at test hint 5. Test hint 5. During the citizenship interview and exam, you will have to write a sentence. The officer will ask you to write a sentence that you hear. Write the sentence that you hear. They will read a sentence to you. You can say the sentence slowly to yourself, then write the words that you hear. You do not have to write the sentence perfectly. If most of the sentence is okay, you can pass the writing test. Okay? Remember, try to write most of the letters in the word, even if it is not correct. You can ask the examiner to repeat the sentence. You have 3 chances to write a sentence correctly. You only need to get 1 right. If you practice all of the sentences in this book, you can pass the writing test. So remember, I told you last time to practice writing the following sentences in your notebook. I I have been a lawful permanent resident for over 5 years. I have lived at my current address for 5 years. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Okay, so let's look at the quiz. Let's look at the quiz. Chapter 5 quiz. Okay. Please write your answers in your notebook. Close your books. Close your citizenship book. Close your citizenship book and write your answers in your notebook. Let's look at Chapter 5 quiz. Okay, first part. Please answer the following questions. Answer T for true and F for false. If it is false, make it true. Okay. Number 1. The United States bought Louisiana from Canada. The United States bought Louisiana from Canada. Please answer true or false. Number 2. The United States fought the Civil War in the 1800s. The United States fought the Civil War in the 1800s. True or false? Number 3. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. True or false? Number 4. Susan B. Anthony signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Susan B. Anthony signed the Emancipation Proclamation. True or false? Remember, if true, write true, T. If false, make true. Number 5. Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. True or false? And number 6. President's Day is in October. President's Day is in October. True or false? Okay, if you are watching this video later, you can pause and answer the questions, okay? You can pause and answer the questions. Take your time. Take your time. Let's move on to the second part, okay? Second part. Please answer the questions in complete sentences. Please answer the questions in complete sentences. So we have complete sentence. What is a complete sentence? Subject, verb, object. Okay? Subject, verb, object. Name one war. Number 1. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Okay? Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Number 2. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Number 3. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Number 4. What did Susan B. Anthony do? What did Susan B. Anthony do? Number 5. The states in the blank tried to leave the United States. The states in the blank tried to leave the United States. Number 6. The blank won the Civil War. The blank won the Civil War. Okay. Please write your answers in your notebook. Let's look at the answers. Number 1. The United States bought Louisiana from Canada. The answer is false. The United States bought Louisiana from France. Okay, that is false. The United States bought Louisiana from France. Number 2. The U.S. fought the Civil War in the 1800s. The U.S. fought the Civil War in the 1800s. The answer is true. The answer is true. Number 3. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. The answer is true. Number 4. Susan B. Anthony signed the Emancipation Proclamation. The answer is false. Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Number 5. Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. The answer is true. The answer is true. Number 6. President's Day is in October. President's Day is in October. False. President's Day is in February. Okay? President's Day is in February. All right, next part. Answer. Number 1. Name one war that was fought in the United States in the 1800s. The Civil War was fought in the United States in the 1800s. Number 2. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Okay. Number 3. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. Okay? The United States bought Louisiana from France in 1803. Number 4. Susan B. Anthony worked for women's rights. Question. What did Susan B. Anthony do? What did Susan B. Anthony do? She worked for women's rights. Number 5. The states in the blank tried to leave the United States. The states in the South tried to leave the United States. Number 6. The blank won the Civil War. The blank won the Civil War. The North won the Civil War. Okay? Very good. Very good. Okay, class, let's look at N400 application, N400 application, part 11. Part 11. Information about your children. Information about your children. Okay. First part. Indicate your total number of children. You must indicate all children, including children who are alive, missing, or deceased, children born in the United States or in other countries, children under 18 years of age or older, children who are currently married or unmarried, children living with you or elsewhere. Elsewhere means not with you. So when it says children living with you or elsewhere, it means children living with you or somewhere else not with you. Current stepchildren. Stepchildren means the children of your husband or wife that are not yours. Okay? For example, if you get married to your husband or wife and they have children from before, those children are your stepchildren. Okay? Your legally adopted children. Adopted means they are not your children by birth, but in the eyes of the law, they are your children. In the eyes of the law, they are your children. And children born when you were not married. Okay, so if you had children before you were married, you will put their names here. Okay, so how many children, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Number 2, provide the following information about all your children, sons and daughters, listed in item number 1, regardless of age. Regardless of age means no matter how old or young, provide the following information about your children. If your child is 1 year old or 16 years old, you will put their information here. To list any additional children, use additional sheets of paper. Okay? So, if you have more than the space here, you can use another piece of paper to finish. You have child 1, okay? Current legal name, family name, last name, given name, first name, and middle name if they have one, okay? Sometimes children do not have a middle name, that's okay. Just fill out their last name and their first name. Date of birth, remember date of birth, month, day, year. Month, day, year. And country of birth. Were they born here in the United States or in your home country? And their current address, okay? Their current address, street number and name. Do they live with you? If they live with you, you put your address. If they live somewhere else, you put their address, okay? Where do they live? Do they live with you or elsewhere, somewhere else, a different address? Put that information here. Street number, name, city, state, zip code, okay? If your children live in your home country right now, currently, you need to put the province or region, okay, foreign address only, the postal code of the foreign address, and the country. Okay, so if your child lives in your home country right now, you need to write the province or region, the postal code, and the country where they live, okay? And also, the application wants you to write, what is your child's relationship to you? Okay, what is your child's relationship to you? Are they your biological child, stepchild, or legally adopted child? Let's look at these words and figure out, okay, let's look at these words and figure out what do they mean? What does it mean? Okay? What does biological child mean? Biological child. It means a child that you gave birth to. Okay, a child that is your blood, you gave birth to. That is your biological child. What is stepchild? Stepchild. Your stepchild is your son or daughter from your husband or wife that is not yours by blood, okay? For example, if you get married and your husband or wife has kids, has children from before, those children are your stepchild. Stepchild 1, child, stepchildren, more than one. Okay? And what does legally adopted child mean? Legally adopted child. Legally adopted child means a child that is your child by law, okay? Not by blood, maybe, not by stepchild, okay? Previous marriage, husband or wife had children from another time. No, adopted child is someone who is your child by law, okay, legal. So, what is your child's relationship to you? So that is for child number 1, okay? That is for child number 1. What is your child's relationship to you? Biological? Is this your child by blood? Stepchild? Is this your child by your husband or wife from before, not from you? Or is this child your legally adopted child? Is this your child by law? Okay, write your answer in the box next to the question. Write your answer in the box next to the question. Okay. Child number 2, same thing. Child number 2. Current legal name, first name, last name. Given name, middle name. Date of birth, country of birth. Okay, United States or your home country or another country. And the current address. Remember, you have past and present, right? Past. What are some other words for past? Do you remember? Yes. Previous. Okay. Before. Previously. What are some words for present? Present. Right now. Current. Currently. Okay. So what is your child's current address? If it is in the United States, what is the street number and name? Okay. Do they live with you or do they live with somewhere else? Do they live somewhere else? And if they live outside of the United States, outside, what is the province or region? What is the postal code? And what is the country? What is the country? And again, remember, what is your child's relationship to you? Is it your biological child? Did you give birth to this child? Is it your stepchild? A child that your husband or wife had from before? Or is it your legally adopted child? Your child by law? Okay. And then if you have child 3, okay, and child 4, okay. So this application lets you put 5 children. 5 children. If you only have 1 child, you only fill out child 1. If you have 6 children, you fill out 5 here and 1 on another piece of paper. Okay? So that is what the N400 application looks like. That is what the N400 application looks like. Part 11, information about your children. Part 11, information about your children. Now, Let's look at activities about children. Let's look at the vocabulary. N400, vocabulary to study. Okay? N400, vocabulary to study. These words about family and children are on your N400 application. Practice saying and spelling these pair words and phrases. Practice saying and spelling these pair words and phrases. Talk about what they mean with your teacher. Okay? So let's look at these words about family and children. First, parent. 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 How do you spell parent? P-A-R-E-N-T. Parent. What is a parent? What does it mean? What does parent mean? Singular or plural? Singular or plural? Singular. Mother or father? Okay? A parent is a mother or father. Next, child. Child. How do you spell child? C-H-I-L-D. Child. What is a child? Okay, a child is like a son or a daughter. A son or a daughter. Let's look at the next word. Parents. Parents, singular or plural? Plural. Can you spell parents? P-A-R-E-N-T-S. Parents. Parents are mother and father. Parents means mother and father. Children. Children. More than one. Children. More than one. C-H-I-L-D-R-E-N. Children. Children are sons, daughters. It can be one son and one daughter. It can be two sons. It can be two daughters. How many children do you have? Do you have one child or do you have children? How many children do you have? Where do your children live? Where do your children live? Okay. First question, do you have children? Answer, yes or no. Yes or no. Do you have children? Yes or no. How many children do you have? More information. How many children do you have? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next word. Father. Father. How do you spell father? F-A-T-H-E-R. Father. Mother. Mother. How do you spell mother? M-O-T-H-E-R. What is a mother? Okay. A mother is a woman, okay, who has children, one child or children. A mother is a woman who has one child or children. A father is a man, okay, a father is a man that has children. A father is a man that has one child or children. Okay, let's look at the next word. Son. Son. How do you spell son? S-O-N. Son. S-O-N. Now remember, son and sun sound the same. Son and sun sound the same. S-O-N is a man who has a mother and father, a son, okay, is the child of the mother and father. S-U-N is the sun in the sky. The sun shines bright. The sun is hot. Okay, the sun is a star. Next word, daughter. Daughter. How do you spell daughter? D-A-U-G-H-T-E-R. Daughter. A daughter is a woman who is the child of a mother and father. A daughter is the child of the mother and father. Brother. Brother. How do you spell brother? B-R-O-T-H-E-R. Brother. A brother is a boy or man, okay? It is a word that talks about part of a family, okay? Part of a family. How many brothers do you have? How many brothers do you have? A brother is the son of the mother and father. Your brother, okay? Your brother is your father and mother's son. Then you have sister. Sister. How do you spell sister? S-I-S-T-E-R. Sister. A sister is the daughter of the mother and father. A sister is the daughter of the mother and father. How many sisters do you have? How many sisters do you have? Next word, step parent. Step parent. How do you spell step parent? S-T-E-P S-T-E-P-P-A-R-E-N-T, step-parent. The step-parent is the stepfather or stepmother of the child, okay? For example, if you are married to someone who had children from before, you are a step-parent. You are a stepmother or father. And they are the stepchild. Okay, stepchild. How do you spell stepchild? S-T-E-P-C-H-I-L-D. Stepchild. Stepchild is stepson or stepdaughter. Stepson or stepdaughter. Stepparent. Stepparent is stepfather, stepmother. Stepfather. S-T-E-P-F-A-T-H-E-R. Stepfather. A stepfather is a man who has children with his wife. The children from his wife are from before. Okay, so for example, if you meet someone who has children, okay, if you meet a man who has children and you marry him, you become a stepmother, okay? You become a stepmother when you marry someone who has children from before. You become a stepmother when you marry a man who has children from before you. You become a stepfather when you marry a woman who has children from before you. Okay? Then they are called stepson and stepdaughter. Okay? Stepson, stepdaughter. Do you have stepchildren? Do you have stepchildren? Do you have a stepson? Do you have a stepson? Do you have a stepdaughter? Do you have a stepdaughter? Who is the oldest? Oldest. Oldest. How do you spell oldest? O-L-D-E-S-T. Oldest. If you have children, which one is the oldest? If you have 2 children, 1 son and 1 daughter, 2 children, and the son is 13 and the daughter is 11, who is the oldest? If your son is 13 and your daughter is 11, who is the oldest? Right, your son. Your son. Youngest. Youngest. How do you spell youngest? Y-O-U-N-G-E-S-T. Youngest. If your son is 13 and your daughter is 11, who is the youngest? Who is the youngest? Your daughter. Your daughter is the youngest. Okay? Your son is the oldest and your daughter is the youngest. Married. Married. How do you spell married? M-A-R-R-I-E-D. D. Married. What does married mean? Married. What is your marital status? Married? Single? Okay. What is your marital status? Married or single? Single. S-I-N-G-L-E. How do you spell single? S-I-N-G-L-E. Are you married or single? Do you have a spouse? Do you have a husband or wife? Biological. Biological. Okay. How do you spell biological? B-I-O-L-O-G-I-C-A-L. Biological. What does biological mean? Biological means by birth. Bio, B-I-O, means life. B-I-O means life. You gave life, you gave birth to this child. Okay? Do you have biological children? Yes or no? Okay. Next word, adopted. Adopted. How do you spell adopted? A-D-O-P-T-E-D. Adopted. What does adopted mean? Adopted means your child by law. Okay? Your child by law. Under 18. Under 18. Give me an example of someone under 18. A number under 18. 17, 16, 15, 14. Do you have any children under the age of 18? If you have one son and one daughter, and your son is 13 and your daughter is 11, you have 2 children under the age of 18. Next, 18 or older. 18 or older. Do you have any children who are 18 years of age or older? What is older than 18? What is older than 18? 19, 20, 21, 30, 35, 27. Okay? Do you have any children 18 years of age or older? Lives at home. Lives at home. Do your children live at home? Does your daughter live at home? Does your son live at home? Lives at home means lives with you. Do your children live at home with you? Next, lives away from home. Lives away from home. Does your child live away from home? Does your child live away from you? In a different place. Do your children live away from you in a different place? Born in the United States. Born in the United States. Was your child born in the United States? Was your child born in the United States? Were your children born in the United States? Were your children born in the United States? Question mark. Were your children born in another country? Were your children born in another country? Was your child born in another country? Is your child alive? Is your child alive? Are your children alive? How do you spell alive? A-L-I-V-E. Alive. Are your children deceased? Is your child deceased? Deceased means not alive, not living. Pass away. How do you spell deceased? D-E-C-E-A-S-E-D. Deceased. So let's practice saying the words one more time, because these words are on your N400 application. So please repeat after me. Parent, child, parents, children, father, mother, son, daughter, brother, sister, step-parent, stepchild, stepfather, stepmother, stepson, stepdaughter, oldest, youngest, married, single, biological, adopted, under 18, 18 or older, lives at home, lives away from home, born in the US, born in another country, alive, deceased. Okay, let's look at the story about Martin and Amanda. This story is about Martin and Amanda and their 3 children. This story is about Martin and Amanda and their 3 children. First, read the story silently. Write any new words in the box below. Write any new words in the box below. Then practice the sentences of the story out loud with your teacher. Then practice the sentences of the story out loud with your teacher. Ask your teacher about any new words. Okay? Ask your teacher about any new words. So let's see. Can you read the story? Can you read the story? Okay, can you read the story? I will give you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Please read the story. Here it is. And remember, please write any words you don't know in your notebook. Please write the new words in your notebook. Write any new words you don't know in your notebook. You can pause the video. You can pause the video and read the story and write any words you do not know, any new words in the story. Five minutes, and then we can look at it together. Now, I am giving you 5 minutes, but please pause the video and read at your own pace. You can read slow or fast, okay? And write down the new words. You can read, pause the video, and read. Take your time, okay? Take your time. We will read the story together after. Okay, class, let's read it together. Let's read it together. Martin and Amanda are from Jamaica. Martin and Amanda are from Jamaica. Amanda became a U.S. citizen last year. Amanda became a U.S. citizen last year. Now, Martin wants to become a citizen. Now, Martin wants to become a citizen. They have lived in New York for 10 years. They have lived in New York for 10 years. They have 2 biological daughters. They have 2 biological daughters, Victoria and Jessica. Biological. Biological means they are their daughters, okay, by birth. Victoria and Jessica. They also have 1 adopted son, Dominic. Adopted son. Remember, adopted means it is their child by law. Victoria is their oldest child. Victoria is their oldest child. Oldest means she has the most years, okay? She has the most years. She is 25 years old. Oldest. She is 25 years old. She was born in Jamaica. She was born in Jamaica. She is married and lives in Jamaica. She is married and lives in Jamaica. She is very close to her younger sister and brother. She is very close to her younger sister and brother. Victoria misses them very much. Victoria misses them very much. Jessica is their middle child. Jessica is their middle child. She is 22. She is over 18. She was also born in Jamaica. She was also born in Jamaica. She goes to college in California. She goes to college in California. Goes means she attends. She is part of that college in California. She is single. She is single. She wants to become a doctor. She wants to become a doctor. Jessica visits her family during the holidays. Remember that word during? At the time of. Remember? Jessica visits her family during the holidays. Dominic is their youngest child. Dominic is their youngest child. He was born in New York. He was born in New York. When Dominic was 1 year old, his parents legally adopted him. Remember, legally adopted means he is their son by law. Son by law. Now he is 9 years old. Now he is 9 years old. He lives at home with his parents and goes to elementary school. Goes, attends. He lives at home with his parents and goes to elementary school. Dominic emails his sisters every week. Dominic emails his sisters every week and tells them about school and sports. So, here are the mother and father, sisters, brother. Okay? So, what new words did you see in the story? What new words did you see in the story? Let's look. We saw biological. They have 2 biological daughters. Okay. Adopted. They have 1 adopted son, Dominic. Oldest. Victoria is their oldest child. Married. Was born. She was born in Jamaica. Okay. Married. She is married. Okay. She is very close to her younger sister and brother. Jessica is single. She is single. Okay? Jessica visits her family during the holidays. Okay? Youngest. Dominic is their youngest child. He was born in New York. When Dominic was 1 year old, his parents legally adopted him. New word, legally adopted. Now he is 9 years old. He lives at home. New word, lives at home with his parents. Okay? Okay, very good. Remember, okay, here's some questions. Okay? Here are some questions for you. Who is the father? Who is the father? Martin. Who is the mother? Who is the mother? Amanda. Who are the parents? Who are the parents? Martin and Amanda. How many children do they have? How many children do they have? 3. They have 3 children. Who is the oldest? Who is the oldest child? Victoria. How old is she? How old is Victoria? 25. Where was she born? Where was she born? In Jamaica. Is she married or single? Is she married or single? She is married. Where does she currently live? Where does Victoria currently live? Victoria currently lives in Jamaica. What is the middle child's name? What is the middle child's name? Jessica. How old is she? How old is she? Is she over 18 or under 18? Is she over 18 or under 18? Over. Where was Jessica born? Where was Jessica born? She was born in Jamaica. She was born in Jamaica. Is Jessica married or single? Is Jessica married or single? Single. What does she want to be? What does she want to become? A doctor. Who is the youngest? Who is the youngest child? Dominic. Dominic. Where was he born? Where was Dominic born? In New York. In New York. What happened when Dominic was 1 year old? What happened when Dominic was 1 year old? His parents legally adopted him. His parents legally adopted him. Remember, legally adopted means he is their child by law. He is their child by law. Who are Dominic's parents? Who are Dominic's parents? What are their names? Martin and Amanda. How old is Dominic now? How old is Dominic now? Is he under 18 or over 18? He is under 18. He is 9 years old. Where does he currently live? Where does Dominic currently live? He currently lives at home with his parents. Okay, he currently lives at home with his parents. Where does Jessica live? Where does Jessica live? In California. She goes to college and lives in California. Where does Victoria live? Where does Victoria live? Victoria lives in Jamaica. Okay, Victoria lives in Jamaica. Okay, very good. Let's look at the chart. Martin and Amanda. Yes, no chart. Think about Martin and Amanda's children. Think about Martin and Amanda's children. Read the words below and write yes in the box if it is true for that person. Write no if it is not true. Okay? So we're looking at Martin and Amanda's children. Reading the words below and writing yes in the box if it is true for that person, no if it is not true. Okay. Now look, you have question number 1, biological child. Child by birth. Victoria, Jessica, Dominic. Okay. Biological child. Victoria and Jessica are biological children of Martin and Amanda. So Victoria is yes for biological child. Jessica is yes for biological child. Dominic is no. He was adopted. Okay? Now, number 2, youngest. Youngest. Who is the youngest? Do you remember? Dominic. So, under Victoria, under youngest, the answer is no. Jessica is not the youngest either. Victoria and Jessica are not the youngest. Dominic is the youngest. So, Victoria and Jessica are no and no. Dominic is yes. Number 3. Number 3. lives away from home? Who lives away from home? Does Victoria live away from home? Yes, she lives in Jamaica. Does Jessica live away from home? Yes, she lives in California. Does Dominic live away from home? Yes, he lives. No, he does not live away from home. He lives with his parents. Okay, he lives with his parents. So the answer is yes. No, Dominic does not live away from home. Dominic does not live away from home. So Victoria lives away from home in Jamaica. Jessica lives away from home in California. Dominic lives in the home. Dominic lives in the home with his parents. Number 4, lives in California. Does Victoria live in California? No, she lives in Jamaica. Does Jessica live in California? Yes, she goes to college in California. Does Dominic live in California? No, he lives in New York with his parents. Okay. Born outside the U.S. Born outside the U.S. Number 5. Was Victoria born outside the U.S.? Was Victoria born outside the U.S.? Yes, she was born in Jamaica. She was born in Jamaica. Was Jessica born outside the U.S.? Was Jessica born outside the U.S.? Yes, she was born in Jamaica. Was Dominic born outside the U.S.? No, he was born in New York. He was born in New York. Number 6. Who is the oldest? Who is the oldest? Is Victoria the oldest? Is Victoria the oldest? Yes, she is 25. Is Jessica the oldest? No, she is 22. Is Dominic the oldest? No, he is 9. Number 7. Who is 18 or older? Who is 18 or older? Is Victoria 18 or older? Is Victoria 18 or older? Yes, she is 25. Is Jessica 18 or older? Yes, she is 22. Is Dominic 18 or older? No, he is under 18. He is 9. This chart, this table, is talking about children, okay? So when you fill out the N400 application, part number 11, information about your children, you will fill out information about their age, their name, their date of birth, their relationship to you, biological, adopted, stepchild, okay? And were they born outside the U.S. or in the U.S., okay? So, number 8. Was Victoria born in the United States? No, Victoria was born in Jamaica. Was Jessica born in the United States? No, Jessica was born in Jamaica. Was Dominic born in the US? No. Dominic was born, yes, Dominic was born in New York. Number 9, married. Who is married? Is Victoria married? Yes. Is Jessica married? No. Is Dominic married? No. Number 10, adopted child. Who is adopted? Is Victoria adopted? No. Is Jessica adopted? No. Is Dominic adopted? Yes. Who is single? Who is single? Is Victoria single? Number 11. Is Victoria single? No. She is married. Is Jessica single? Yes. Is Dominic single? Yes. Number 12. Who lives with Martin and Amanda? Who lives with their parents? Who lives with their parents? Who lives with their father and mother? Does Victoria live with her parents? Does Victoria live with Martin and Amanda? No. Does Jessica live with her parents? Does Jessica live with Martin and Amanda? No. Does Dominic live with his parents? Does Dominic live with Martin and Amanda? Yes. Number 13. Who is under 18 years old? Who is under 18 years old? Is Victoria under 18 years old? No, she is 25. Is Jessica under 18 years old? No, she is 22. Is Dominic under 18 years old? Yes, he is 9. And last, number 14. Number 14. Who wants to be a doctor? Who wants to be a doctor? Does Victoria want to be a doctor? No. Does Jessica want to be a doctor? Yes. Does Dominic want to be a doctor? No. Okay. Let's take a break. Let's take a 10-minute break. Okay. Thank you, class. We will be right back. Okay, class, welcome back. I just want to review really quickly what we learned today, okay, before we begin practicing the civics flashcards, okay? So today we looked at N400 application, part 11, information about your children, okay? N400 application, information about your children, okay? Number 1, indicate your total number of children. Indicate means say, tell, okay? Write down your total number of children. 0, 1, 2. Remember, you must include all children, including children who are alive, missing, or deceased, children born in the United States or another country, children under 18 years of age or older, children who are currently married or unmarried, children living with you or elsewhere, okay? Children living with you or away from home, okay? Current stepchildren, legally adopted children. Remember, stepchildren means children from your husband or wife that are not yours, that are not your biological children. Legally adopted children, remember, legally adopted means children that are yours by law, okay, by the court. And children born when you are not married, okay? Number 2, provide the following information about all your children, sons and daughters, listed in item number 1, regardless of age. To list any additional children, use additional sheets of paper. Here on the N400 application, part 11, information about your children, they give you space to write about 4 children. If you have more than 4 children, you will use another piece of paper. If you only have 1 child, you will only fill out letter A, child 1, okay? Leave the rest blank. Let's look at an example. Child 4, example, letter D. Current legal name, family name, last name, okay? Given name, first name. Middle name. If they have a middle name, write it here. If they do not have a middle name, do not write. A number. Maybe they have an A number, maybe not. If you do not know the A number, it is okay. Then you will write the date of birth. Date of birth. Remember, we write the date of birth, month, day, year. Then you will write the country of birth. Was your child born in the United States or outside the United States? Okay? You will write the country name there. Then you will write their current address. Do they live with you or away from you? Do they live with you or away from you? But what is that current address? Where do they live right now? Street number and name, okay? 1234 West Broadway Street, okay? City, Westminster. State, California. Remember, abbreviation, CA. Zip code. Zip code. Then the last question, if they were born outside of the United States, you need to write their province or region, the postal code, and the country, okay? If they were born outside of the United States. And the last question, what is your child's relationship to you? What is your child's relationship to you? For example, biological child, stepchild, legally adopted child. Write your answer in the box next to the question, okay? All right, very good. Then we looked at family, children, N400 vocabulary to study. These words about family and children are on your N400 application. We practiced the words and what they mean, okay? We practiced all of these words and what they mean. Then we saw a story about Martin and Amanda. Okay, we saw a story about Martin and Amanda and their 3 children. Youngest, middle, oldest, okay? 2 daughters and 1 son. 2 biological children, 2 biological children, and 1 adopted son. Martin, Amanda, Victoria, Jessica, and Dominic. Okay? Then you wrote new words. You wrote new words that you learned in the vocabulary from the story. Okay? Biological, adopted, youngest, oldest, married, single. Okay? Okay, then we filled out a chart, Martin and Amanda. Yes or no? We answered the questions based on the information in the story. We answered the questions based on the information in the story. Okay, good. Now, let's look at civics flashcards. When you apply to become a U.S. citizen, you must fill out the N400 application, go to the citizenship interview, and pass the citizenship test, okay? So, on the citizenship test, there is speaking, reading, listening, and writing. The officer will ask you questions from your N400 application as part of your citizenship interview. Have you ever? Okay. Then, for the written test, the officer will ask you to write a sentence. Listen to a sentence that he says, and then you write down what you hear. And the officer will also ask you to read a sentence. The officer will give you a sentence and ask you to read it. Okay? You will also answer questions about U.S. history and government. You will also answer questions about U.S. history and government. Okay? So this is where the civics flashcards come in handy. This is where the civics flashcards will help you to study for the citizenship test. I put a link on Facebook to show you the civics flashcards so that you can practice. Okay? So on Tuesday, we looked at questions 1 through 10. We looked at flashcards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Today, we will look at questions 11 through 20. 11 through 20. Okay? Let's look at question number 11. What is the economic system in the United States? Remember, a flashcard is a piece of paper with a question on the front and an answer on the back. Okay? A flashcard to study is a question on the front and the answer on the back. So, question number 11. What is the economic system in the United States? Answer on the back. Capitalist economy, market economy. If the officer asks you, what is the government, what is the economic system in the United States? You can say capitalist economy or market economy. Pick one. Now, look at the picture. Look at the picture. What is she doing? What is she doing? She is buying groceries at the store. She is buying fruits and vegetables at the store. In her cart, she has a pineapple. In her hand, she is looking at a tomato. When you live in a capitalist economy, you buy and sell things, okay? Capitalist economy, market economy. Our economy in the United States is based on capitalism and market, okay? Number 12. Question number 12. On the front of the flashcard, what is the rule of law? What is the rule of law? The rule of law is everyone must follow the law, or leaders must obey the law, or the government must obey the law, and no one is above the law. So if the officer asks you what is the rule of law, you can say everyone must follow the law, leaders must obey the law. Obey means follow, okay? Obey means follow. Government must obey the law. No one is above the law. What does that mean? No one is above the law. It means no one can break the law without getting in trouble, okay? No one can break the law and not get in trouble, okay? Question number 13 on the front of the flashcard. Name one branch or part of the government. Name one branch or part of the government. Answer. Congress, legislative, president, executive, the courts, judicial, okay? Now, Congress is another word for the legislative branch. There are three branches to the government: legislative, executive, judicial. Congress is the legislative branch. The president is the executive branch, and the courts are the judicial branch. Look at the picture. The U.S. Capitol, legislative branch, and the U.S. Supreme Court, judicial branch, in buildings in Washington, D.C. Remember, Washington, D.C. is the capital of the United States. Number 14. Question number 14. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Answer: checks and balances. Checks and balances. Or separation of powers. Checks and balances or separation of powers. Okay? That is what keeps the branches of government from becoming too powerful. Okay? Checks and balances. If the officer asks you, what is one branch of government, what stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful, you can say checks and balances or separation of powers. Question number 15. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Number 15. Who is in charge of the executive branch? Answer: the President. The President is in charge of the executive branch. And this is a picture of the White House in Washington, D.C. Donald Trump lives in the White House. Donald Trump is our current president. Question number 16. Who makes federal laws? Who makes federal laws? Congress. Congress makes federal laws. The Senate and the House of Representatives. Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives, and the U.S. or National Legislature. The U.S. or National Legislature. The United States capital is Washington, D.C. So when the officer asks you, who makes federal laws? You can say Congress, Senate and House of Representatives, or the U.S. or National Legislature. Question number 17. What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? What are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and House of Representatives. The Senate and House of Representatives. Okay? Two parts of the U.S. Congress. Senate and House of Representatives. This picture is an aerial view. Aerial means air. Okay, so they took this picture from the air. It is an aerial view of the west front of the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. Question number 18. question number 18. How many U.S. senators are there? How many U.S. senators are there? $100. There are 100 U.S. senators. This is a picture of the senators of the 109th Congress. These are pictures of this. This is a picture of the senators of the 109th Congress. Okay? So, how many U.S. senators are there? Answer, 100. Question number 19. We elect a U.S. senator for how many years? We elect a U.S. senator for how many years? Six. We elect a U.S. senator 6 years. We elect a U.S. senator for 6 years. This is a picture of a Senate hearing on the confirmation of John G. Roberts, Jr. in 2005. This is a picture of a Senate hearing on the confirmation of John G. Roberts, Justice John G. Roberts, Jr. in 2005. And question number 20. Question number 20, last civics flashcard question for the day. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? Answers will vary. Okay, so who is one of your state's U.S. senators now in California? Okay, in California. Who is one of your U.S. senators now in California? Our U.S. senators in California are Kamala Harris and Dianne Feinstein. Kamala Harris and Dianne Feinstein. How do you spell Kamala Harris? Kamala, K-A-M-A-L-A. Harris, H-A-R-R-I-S. Dianne, D-I-A-N-N-E. Feinstein, F-E-I-N-S-T-E-I-N. Dianne Feinstein. Okay, very good. Now, lastly, I want to show you how you can go to YouTube and look at the U.S. Citizen Pod Citizenship Interview Practice. Okay, so I am going to show you how you can look at YouTube to look at the U.S. Citizen Pod Citizenship Interview Practice. First, go to the internet, type YOUTUBE, enter. Okay, we are going to look at YouTube. Click on YouTube. Okay. When you look at YouTube, you can search for videos. Okay, videos. In the search bar, this is a search bar, okay? You will type US Citizen Pod. Now, US, okay, citizen. CITIZENPOD. Then click on magnifying glass, search. Then you will click on the first choice, US Citizen Pod, okay? YouTube, YOUTUBE, search US Citizen, CITIZENPOD. Click. Then you can look at videos with citizenship interview practice.
Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from U.S. Citizenship Podcast. Every week we bring you practice interviews, quizzes, and the latest news that help you get ready for your U.S. Citizenship interview. We're getting ready for Constitution Day at Milpitas Adult School, so I invited Officer David to come back and do some interviews with us. Today he's going to be practicing the vocabulary from Part 12. I have other recordings and videos about the N400 Part 12 vocabulary. Check the show notes for more details. Let's get started. Officer David, thank you for meeting me today, and thank you for welcoming our students back to school.
No problem. My pleasure. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen?
Okay, so when you go to YouTube, you can search the videos to practice for your citizenship interview and your test. Let's look at one interview with someone who wants to become a U.S. citizen.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct, but it's...
We will look at this for a couple minutes just to show you.
Hi, this is Teacher Jennifer from U.S. Citizenship Podcast. Every week we bring you practice interviews, quizzes, and the latest news that help you get ready for your U.S. citizenship interview. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Officer Jennifer. I'm ready to interview you today. Are you ready?
Yes.
Please stand. Please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Put down your hand. What did you promise?
I promise to tell the truth.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Explain to me how you are eligible to become a U.S. citizen.
I've been a lawful permanent resident for 5 years.
Show me your green card, your driver's license, and photo ID. Thank you very much. What is your full name?
My full name is Ying Hong Xu.
Spell your last name.
XU.
What is your country of birth?
China.
What is your country of citizenship?
China citizenship.
And what is your date of birth?
My date of birth is March 14, 1990.
And what date did you become a legal permanent resident?
September 20, 2014.
Are you requesting an accommodation because of a physical disability?
No.
Do you live in San Jose, Milpitas, or Fremont?
I live in Milpitas.
Do you live in a house, a condo, or a mobile home?
I live in a mobile home.
Do you live there with your family?
Yes.
Who lives with you?
My husband and my son.
How long?
Okay, everyone, a mobile home. She said, where do you live? In a house, an apartment, or a mobile home? A mobile home is a trailer. It has wheels on it, okay? So most of you live in a house or an apartment, right? In a building. Some people live in mobile homes. Those are homes that have wheels, okay?
Have you lived there?
5 years.
Was your mother or father a U.S. citizen before your 18th birthday?
No.
Are they citizens of China?
Yes.
Are you Hispanic or are you Asian?
I'm Asian.
How do you support yourself?
I work.
Where do you work?
I work in company called Supermicro Computer Inc.
How long have you worked there?
Almost 5 years.
And what is your job there?
I am in assembly team.
Assembly?
Yeah.
Have you had any other job since you've been in the United States?
No. This is my only job.
I'm going to ask you about your travel now. How many total days have you spent outside the United States in the past 5 years?
46 days.
And how many trips?
2 trips.
Tell me about your last trip. When did you leave and when did you come back?
I leave June 29, 2017. I come back on July 27, 2017.
And did you go to China?
Oh yes, I miss my family.
Yeah, good. It's good to see you. I'm sure your mom was happy to see you again, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your current marital status?
I am married.
When did you get married?
On September 6, 2011.
Are you married in the United States or in China?
Married in China.
How many times have you been married?
Only once.
And how many times has your husband been married?
Only once.
Is he a legal permanent resident?
Yes.
And when will he become a citizen? I hope soon, okay? Okay. Good. So you practice, you go home and you teach him, okay? All right. Let me ask you about your children. I heard that you have one child. Is he born here or was he born in China?
Born in China.
And what is his date of birth?
Date of birth is March 31, 2011.
Is he a citizen?
No.
Okay, so they might also ask you about your children, right? Remember, N400 Application Part 11, information about your children. The officer will ask you about your children. How many children do you have? How old are they? Where were they born? Were they born here in the United States or outside the United States? And what is their date of birth? Okay?
Yeah, when you become a citizen, he will become a citizen.
Yes.
Okay, does he like school?
Yes.
Very, very good. Okay, that's good to hear. Okay, now we're going to ask the Part 12 questions. Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen?
No.
Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States?
No.
Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election?
No.
Why have you not voted in the United States?
Because I am not U.S. citizen.
When you become a citizen, will you register to vote?
Yes.
Okay, will you vote in the upcoming presidential election?
Yes.
Oh, good luck, okay? I'm going to ask you about taxes. Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes?
No.
What is overdue taxes?
Overdue tax is must pay money for government.
Do you pay your taxes every year?
Yes.
Do you pay them together with your husband?
With husband together.
Now I'm going to ask you about groups. Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
No.
What is the Communist Party?
One party, no freedom.
And have you ever been a member of a terrorist organization?
No.
What is a terrorist organization?
Bad people, Bin Laden.
Like Bin Laden?
Yeah.
Osama bin Laden, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever committed genocide or torture?
No.
What is genocide?
Killing group people.
If you torture someone, are you helping them or are you hurting them?
Hurting him.
Yeah, you're hurting them. Were you in a military unit in China?
No.
Were you in the army in China?
No.
Were you in the police?
No.
Have you ever worked in a prison or labor camp?
No.
Were you ever a member of a gang?
No.
Have you ever had any weapons training?
No.
What is weapons?
Weapons, a gun and knife.
Have you ever forced somebody under 15 years old to become a soldier?
No.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
What is arrested?
Arrested is go to jail.
Have you ever been charged with a crime?
No.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
No.
What is crime?
Break the law.
Have you ever been a habitual drunkard?
No, never.
Okay, what is habitual drunkard?
Drink too much alcohol.
And have you ever been a prostitute or procured someone for prostitution?
No.
Have you ever sold or smuggled illegal drugs?
No.
Can you give me an example of illegal drugs?
Legal drug, like the alcohol or cocaine.
Not alcohol, but like opium or cocaine. Okay?
Opium, cocaine.
Have you ever been married to two people at the same time?
No, never.
Did you marry your husband to immigrate to the United States?
No.
Did you ever gamble illegally?
No.
Have you ever failed to support your child?
No.
Have you ever lied to get a public benefit?
No.
What is a public benefit?
Food stamps.
Have you ever been deported?
No.
What is deported?
Get out of the U.S.
Yeah, you're being kicked out, or you can say sent out of the United States.
Uh-huh.
So have you ever been deported?
No.
No. Okay, good. Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces?
No.
Do you support the Constitution?
Yes.
What is the Constitution?
The spring law of the land.
And do you support our form of government?
Yes.
What is our form of government?
Republican.
Yes. And do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Okay, class, what is our form of government? Republic. Okay? What is our form of government? Republic.
Yes.
Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States?
Yes.
What is an oath?
Promise.
And what is allegiance?
Obey the government.
If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States?
Yes.
What is bear arms?
Fight for the United States.
If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services in the U.S. Armed Forces?
Yes.
What is non-combatant services? When you do non-combatant services, are you using a weapon or not using a weapon?
Not using a weapon.
Can you give me an example of non-combatant services?
A nurse.
What's your job? Sometimes they need assemblers, sometimes they need drivers, sometimes they need cooks, okay?
Uh-huh.
So you're not using a weapon on that. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction?
Yes.
Do you promise everything you say is true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks to the students and staff of Milpitas Adult School.
Okay, so that is practice interview with a student. Okay, so next time we will look at chapter 6 in the book. Chapter 6, Later History. We will look at N400 application, part 12, which is where the questions come from for the citizenship interview. And we will also finish the worksheets on family and children. Okay? Thank you, class, for all of your hard work. I am looking forward to seeing you next time. Okay? And thank you for being here and listening to the video. Please comment and let me know that you watched it. Okay? Please watch the video and please stay healthy and safe. Please protect yourself and your family. Thank you.